Welcome to Dynasty Debrief. Today, we're going to come at you with the rookie mock draft. We're going to get you top 12 picks, and we're going to do it pretty quickly. So let's just dive right in. At the 101, we're going to have Caleb Williams. Now, this is important to say that this is based on a 12-team Superflex league with a 1.75 10 in premium. So Superflex, there's 12 teams, quarterbacks are scarce. So we're going to have to go Caleb here, even though we do think Marv is pretty close second. Caleb's a generational prospect. He's got good rushing upside. He's going into a pretty good situation in Chicago, assuming he does go there, but we're pretty confident as where he ends up. He's going to have DJ Moore. They have another top pick they can get a Dunze at, or maybe trade that for a wide receiver, or just sign a wide receiver and free agency. You know what I mean? They're going to have probably at least two good weapons there with Caleb, and that's a great situation to be in, along with a solid head coach. Um, yeah, nothing really negative to say about Caleb.
Yeah, like Dalton stressed, if this is a 10-team league, we're probably taking Marv at the 101 just because quarterbacks in a 10-team league are less scarce, less valuable. But because this is a 12-team league, we're taking Caleb at 101, and then I'm going to take Marv at the 102. If he goes to New England, maybe this changes, but this is beginning of February, so we don't know the draft landing spots, any of that type of stuff. So we're just basing it off of pure like what we think of them as a prospect. And Marv, I think, is the best prospect since Jamar Chase to come out. He's from that Ohio State pedigree. Great size, great speed, everything you look for in a receiver, Marv's got it. So that's a pretty easy pick at the 102.
Next up at the 103, I'm taking might come as a surprise to some, but Jaden Daniels, 2023 Heisman Trophy winner out of LSU, started off at Arizona State, was mediocre there, but transferred to LSU and really sky was the limit for him there. Senior season, 3,800 passing yards, almost 1,200 rushing yards, 50 total touchdowns. He's going to be going to probably either Washington or New England. Some might say that not really an attractive landing spot, but with Jaden Daniels' safe rushing floor, I think that any landing spot he will produce fantasy points right out of the gate. He took a huge passing jump his senior year. He threw for 40 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a fantastic ratio. Uh, in his senior year, he averaged 95 rushing yards per game. Is this sustainable in the NFL? Most likely not. But even if it's half of that, 50 yards a game on the ground is a nice, safe rushing floor in the league and a great asset on your dynasty team.
Yeah, Jaden Daniels has that elite rushing upside, which is what we're looking for. We're looking when we're drafting in our rookie mock drafts, we are looking for elite upside, and Jaden Daniels has that upside, that Lamar level upside. Might I
Yes.
dare I say? So next, we're going to Drake May, another quarterback. Like I said, super flex, 12 teams. We need quarterbacks in those leagues. So Drake May right now, likely looking at Washington, maybe the Patriots, but I'm thinking most likely it's Washington, which is a pretty good landing spot. They don't have a head coach at this very moment. Maybe it's Bieniemy, maybe it's somebody else. But either way, they have some decent weapons there. Terry McLaurin's a great wide receiver. They have Jahan Dotson, who's okay. They have Kurt Samuel, Danny Brown, decent options. There's definitely been worse landing spots before, like Bryce Young to the Panthers last year. The Commanders also have decent cap room, so they can probably bring in some other weapons for him. Um, One thing that we like about May is his athleticism, his ability to run the ball. He's no Daniels, but he can definitely put up good points on the ground, and we like that. That's what we care about. The biggest negative to have on May is that he's in the same class as Caleb, so he can't be QB1 in terms of like actual talent. We like Daniels more in Dynasty, but in real life, May's a really elite option.
Yeah, kind of going with what you said. If Drake May was in the class last year with Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, he's getting picked over those quarterbacks. Not to say that he's a better player than them, just talking as a prospect, he would have been the number one overall draft pick last year. But he's in Caleb's class, so he just kind of gets, I guess, negated for that reason. Going to the 105, we got Malik Neighbors coming out of LSU, a receiver. This is another guy who is kind of hurt because he's in the same draft class as Marvin Harrison, just an elite talent. And Malik Neighbors is an elite talent in his own. He's got great speed. He's got great yak ability, great route runner, great separator, all the things, again, that you look for in a receiver. He's got it. Great hands. Like, there's nothing bad to say about Malik Neighbors. And he's going to get that potentially top five, top six draft capital. So getting Malik Neighbors at the 105 is a great value. If you've got rookie picks, you're definitely happy that you've got them this year.
Next up, we have at the 106, Brock Bowers, a fantastic tight end out of Georgia. 21 years old, 6'4", 240, great size, In his freshman year, he scored 13 touchdowns as a true freshman, 18 years old at Georgia. That is an insane freshman year at Georgia. 17.5% target share in that year, which again, as a tight end and a true freshman, is off the charts. He was clocked. What really popped out to me in his freshman year, they clocked him at 21.9 miles an hour on one touchdown run, which is uh, ridiculous speed out of a tight end. He has the yak ability to the moon and will get you many touchdowns, long touchdowns, yards over the middle of the field. Big jump ball catcher, could do it all for you. Route runner. He is going to be a top 10 draft pick most likely in April. And if he goes to the Chargers, wow, he could be off the charts in his rookie year.
Yeah, the only thing hurting Bowers, I think, is the fact that Kyle Pitts had a pretty lackluster NFL career so far. He's probably better than Pitts was, so he's just like a slam dunk pick. Hopefully, he ends up at a good landing spot like the Chargers.
Yeah.
So the 107, we're going to take our third wide receiver, Roma Dunze. He's projected to be a top 15 pick, leaning towards that top 12, top 10 type area. Maybe he ends up at the Falcons or the Bears. There's a lot of different spots he can end up. We've seen some mock drafts where he's even as high as the Chargers, which is a little aggressive for our liking, I think. But if he does end up on the Chargers, he's going to have so much hype. And I could see him even jumping a wide receiver that ends up on the Patriots, maybe. Like, you don't know. Adunze, he's got that prototypical X size, 6'3", just big, good at jump balls. He's got elite ball tracking, great at contested catches. The only thing that he's lacking for me is his top end speed. He's not like that elite top end speed, but he's very good receiver. Um, has the ability to be an X on most teams that he goes to, which is exciting.
So now at the 108, we do have a tier break. We like those top 7 prospects a lot. We think they're kind of cemented in that top 7. We're going to take Brian Thomas at the 108. And if he gets draft capital like we think he will, I think he's firmly going to be the 108. But again, it's only February and we'll see. He's coming out of LSU. He's a receiver. He was with Malik Neighbors. He was with Jaden Daniels. So there's a chance that he could have benefited off of being around those guys. But I think he's a good talent in his own. He's 6'4", so he's got great size. He's a great contested catch type player. Also great speed. He's not a refined route runner, but I think he's kind of like a ball of clay where if you get into the right system, they can really get the most out of him and use his elite athleticism to create a great receiver. So I'm going to take him at the 108 here.
Yeah, going off of what Dak said before I get into the 109, Brian Thomas, what he does have with all the receivers that are in the top end of the draft, he most likely will be taken in the back end of the first round. Could be Kansas City, the Bills, the Bengals. He's most likely going to have a better landing spot, and therefore, like he said, ball of clay, good system. He could really reap the rewards of having those elite quarterbacks. Next up at the 109, Michael Penix, Heisman Trophy finalist out of Washington, played in the national championship, fell short to Michigan, but had a fantastic season with Romo Dunze. He's calm, collected in the pocket, a pretty accurate passer, but he has a cannon of an arm, an absolute laser, fits it into the tight windows. Again, all depends on his draft capital. He's at this spot because we're predicting him to be a top 15, top 20 draft pick in the NFL draft, and if he gets that, this is where he'll fall. Maybe the 108, depending on team and landing spot and number of pick, but this is about the range that we have him. So that's where we're going to value him in this rookie mock draft at the 109.
So, as we saw, Penix, we're expecting him to be a first round pick. We're also expecting, as of right now, Bo Nix to be a first round pick. There's just so many quarterback need teams that someone's going to take him. And if someone takes a first round quarterback, we have to take a first round quarterback in Dynasty. 12 team superflex, you got to take those quarterbacks, especially the ones with good rushing upside, like Nix. He's got great pocket presence. He's very athletic. He played a lot of years of college ball, but that's okay. It gives him time to develop. He is 24 years old as a rookie, which if he was a wide receiver or running back, we'd be a little bit more yikes about that. But because he's a quarterback, quarterbacks have longer careers. He's got plenty of time to play ball. We're not too worried about his age. So yeah, if Bo Nix gets that first round capital, we're taking him around here in our rookie drafts.
Yeah, and at the 111, I'm going to take his college teammate, Troy Franklin, a receiver out of Oregon. This is a guy, he's 6'3", 190 pounds, so kind of like a weird build, sort of like a Devontae Smith, except much taller than Devontae Smith. He's got a great release package, also kind of like Devontae Smith, and he's an absolute burner. He's got 4.3 speed. He's a guy that he's more of a vertical threat. Like the rest of his route tree hasn't been developed, but I think he's another guy you get him into a system that really taps into that vertical speed downfield threat ability that he's got, and I think he can produce right away.
Next up at the 112, we have Xavier Worthy out of Texas. The more I watch Xavier Worthy, the more I love Xavier Worthy. He posted a 25% target share every season at Texas in his 3 seasons there. He's 20 years old. Similar to Bowers, he also had a freshman year breakout where he burst onto the scene 1,000 yards. Over his career, he had a 13.5 average depth of target, which is really good in college. He's a great route runner. And the thing that popped out to me the most when I was watching him was his raw speed. And then the further I looked into it, they were projecting him to run a 4.3 at the combine. The projection I saw was 4.29, which is absolutely wicked. If he puts up those kind of numbers at the combine, he could break into the first round or be an early second round pick. But we're going to take him at the 112 here in this Dynasty rookie mock draft.
Yes, that runs out our first round. We're very excited for rookie drafts. You know, they're so far away. I hope you liked the video. If you didn't know, we're a new channel, and we have 4 other videos up right now. We have quarterback rankings in Dynasty, wide receiver rankings in Dynasty. We have an in-depth look at Jordan Love, an in-depth look at Chris Olave. So if you like any of those ideas, go check them out. Give us a subscribe if you like the video. Like the video if you like the video. How about that? And we'll
Awesome.
see you next time.